Hello and welcome. My name is Kevin Uris. I'm of Group 3 for Global Dimensions of Business 187 at San Jose State, and today is March 19th, 2013. Today we will be having an intellectual discussion of some philosophical theories in business. First, the doctrine of Milton Friedman, a renowned business advocate. Then, a few examples of righteous moralism and individuals that portray that characteristic. Then, a greater explanation of noblesse oblige. And lastly, an in-depth look at cultural relativism and the pertinence to modern business. Allow me to introduce Milton Friedman, author and contributor. His best-known work, Capitalism and Freedom, which conveys classic liberal markets with private gold standard currency. He has also contributed many journals, lectures, and editorials, the most renowned, a groundbreaking article in the New York Times. Commonly referred to as the stockholder theory, it is the sole responsibility of business to ensure profits for its stockholders, and any involvement in government becomes a slippery slope. At the time, his work seemed like a purification of capitalism, and in stark contrast to the command economies of the Eastern Hemispheres. If a corporation's sole obligation is to its stockholders, then its success can be measured by profits and return on investment. This ideal has been criticized, saying that it does not take into account those that the corporation may affect beyond its stockholders. Ultimately, Friedman feared commingling the means of production and the making of policy. Here we have a few righteous moralists. On the left, Henry Ford, a famous businessman who changed the world through his ideals. On top there we have Don Quixote, who gallivanted through the Spanish countryside. And down on the bottom there we have some Mormon missionaries out on their bicycles preaching their good word. All of these individuals have one thing in common. They perceived their standards and ethics to be best for someone else. In some cases, it can be truly beneficial, improving standard of living. But unfortunately, it can also lead to unintended consequences and exploitation, as in the case of Apple Computers and their supplier Foxconn. Noblesse oblige, an archaic French phrase originating from French aristocracy, it is an expectation of the nobility to act for the benefit of the people. Those with wealth, power, and prestige must act in a noble way. In a simplistic sense, lead by example. This principle has historical precedence and is found in many religions, codes of ethics, morals, or conduct. Just behavior from the ruling class is a long-standing human convention and necessity. In modern society, those with the greatest power are often those in charge of the greatest corporations. The name says it all. Cultural relativism means that one person's culture is relative to another's in terms of upbringing and their station in life. Furthermore, one must evaluate culture from an objective standpoint. By doing so, your experience may be enriched by another's culture. The blending and acceptance of culture is called acculturation. Intended as a heuristic tool, it can create common understanding and empower a global community, while simultaneously creating new market segments. It can influence government policies, change cultural standards, and affect individual decision-making. In conclusion, all of these ethical standards are still relevant today and should be considered when making decisions in business. Thank you.